to do another round or episode of the Little Red Book of Fly Fishing. This is fishing tips, kind of the Little Red Book, where I just kind of read through these passages. Unfortunately, well, yesterday's post didn't load correctly, so I'm going to have to do a do-over. All right, so hopefully I can replicate what I did yesterday. We'll go through some of the tips, and then we'll shift over to some Q&A, maybe some call-outs, additionally maybe some videos from past goes, and maybe we can go from there. All right, so let's do it. Fishing tips, the Red Book of Fly Fishing, episode 30 is a go. Okay, I'll start out with reading the passages. Oh, let me move. Bear with me here. I got to move my my audio gear here. All right. Hello, 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 hello. Check, 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 check. Okay. Despite the 173C. Wait a minute. We did that one before. I'm sorry. It's color coding 174. Okay. How fish see colors is primarily affected by the amount of light entering the water. The less light, the less visible some colors become. The shortest ways, blue and green, are absorbed slowly, while reds are absorbed quickly. As a rule, choose blue and green for deep water bait fish patterns or in areas where the water is murky. Also consider that red is the most visible and in some cases most vital color for aggressive predators feeding in shallow water. Many say that the red closely imitates the flared gills of an alarmed baitfish, which can trigger a fast response from feeding trout. All right, cool beans, cool beans. Okay, I do like that piece about the red closely imitating the flared gills. I kind of explained some of the fishing flies that I've fished, as well as some of the lures that I've fished that have that little red tinge or color on the pattern. I think that does make a difference. So, hey, check that one in the box. Definitely give that a thumbs up in the Little Red Book of Fly Fishing. And then speaking of red, the next fishing tip goes right into it. Tip 175, get the red in. Some years ago, noted author and angler Robert H. Boyle conducted an experiment in which he repeatedly introduced minnows into a sizable aquarium containing largemouth bass. Half were ordinary silver shiners, the other half were shiners that had been dyed red. Through repeated tests, the bass demonstrated a profound preference for the crimson minnows. We know of no similar test for salmonids, but explains why so many successful fly patterns contain a splash of red. I feel a pattern here. Red, red. Well, let's use red. Okay. Another thumbs up on that one. Definitely give that one a try. If not, keep that in your back pocket when you are out there doing a little fishy. Okay. Next item. 176. Sharpie thinking. Along the lines of adapting flies on the move and in the river, guide John Flick of Durango, Colorado often carries a black Sharpie permanent marker in his pocket. When he finds that tan caddis are overmatched by black caddis on the river, for example, a few strokes of the pen changes the fly's color and puts him right in the game. A few dabs on a PMD can also make that mayfly pattern something completely different. I recall this from yesterday. And I do recall that, yes, I like the idea of having that Sharpie ready to go and changing one fly to another fly because of the conditions. Unfortunately, I don't carry a Sharpie often with me. And often when I do carry a Sharpie, it's because I'm jug lining, because I need to, put the date and whatnot onto the jugs that I'm using when I'm fishing. So I think I called it out yesterday. Maybe I need to start keeping a Sharpie in my pickup truck just in case, if not into my fly vest. All right. Next item, 177. Love ants and beetles. The most overlooked and underloved dry flies in the world are ants and beetle patterns. I don't know why this is, as you'll find ants and beetles on almost any decent trout river in the world. And trout love eating them. If you're worried about not being able to see small black beetle or ant on the water, use a pattern with red, white, or orange post or patch on its back to make it more visible. Failing that, use an attractor fly with your ant or beetle. See the hopper, fish the ant. Don't neglect to fish ants and beetles, especially when there's no major hatch going on and you see fish suspended in shallow water near the bank or next to structures such as logs and cut banks. Those fish are opportunistic feeders, and odds are they'll hit a well-placed ant or beetle. And that said, ant or beetle being a small fly, I would also say do this also with some small midges, be it dry or wet. There's a lot of times where I'm gone out fishing and I cannot see that little black midge. All I really see is a swirl where the trout has went for the fly, but by then it's too late when I go set the hook. But if I have an attractor like a hopper or there's a Patriot fly that I tied. It's just like a big dry fly, very visible. And when you get the indication of a strike on that little fly, that is the trailing fly or dropper, you will see that indicator fly actually moving, and you can use that. You can use that as your strike indicator. All right. Okay. Next one, 178, going goo-goo. Be careful not to put too much floating gel on a fly before you cast it. Use just enough grease to make its color darker as if you dunked it in the water. Big silicone globs sticking to a fly's hackles are enough to turn off any trout. Grease flies when they come out of the box and before the first cast. After a while, as a floating wears off, use a dry shake powder to dry them off and get them riding high again. Never grease flies that are already wet. Well, I've been guilty of that. I have grease flies that have been wet. Additionally, I have been doing a workaround where I'm using 3M, what do you call it, that 3M spray that helps put raincoats and keep them dry, or at least water repellent. And I've been also using the same one that I use for my tent. When I'm getting prepped for the camping season, I make sure that it's also water resistant, if not waterproof. Additionally, I also keep some Carmex as well as Amphifor at times I have handy. I've used that in a pinch when I need some of that dry fly floatant. Okay, next one, 179, barbless. To fish barbless or not, that is the question. Here's my answer. Assuming the angler knows how to maintain good fishing pressure on the trout, I never have seen a situation where the lack of a barb on a fly has been a determining factor in landing the fish or not. On another note, I've seen several situations where a flattened barb on a streamer stuck in the face of a guide has been the determining factor in requiring an impromptu minor surgery, or merely calling it an inconvenient hiccup in the day. It's a no-brainer. Always fish barbless. Doing so is good for trout, even better for people. Well, I'm guilty. Guilty. I fish with a barb. Only time I fish barbless is when I have to. I don't know. Yeah, I still have to learn and maintain good fighting pressure, but it sure does help if you kind of let off on the pressure for whatever reason, by accident, forgetfulness, etc. It still is nice having that barb on there. But again, if it's a catch and release requirement, special regs and whatnot, you definitely got to go barbless, and you definitely should make sure you maintain that pressure on the line as you're bringing in that trout. All right. 180, are you a good twitch or a bad twitch? Sometimes a little twitch of a dry fly can be a good thing, an attention getter. This is especially true when you're fishing flies that imitate bugs that skitter naturally, such as caddis, stoneflies, and grasshoppers. If you spot a fish that make a cast and come up a little out of range, make a short, subtle switch or two before picking up and casting again. It may be just what you need to prod a trout into action. The twitch factor is why many flies, especially terrestrials that incorporate wiggly, rubbery legs, are so effective. All right, another one to keep in your back pocket, that twitch. I use the twitch, not just dry flies. There's been times where I'm fishing away and I'll just give a little twitch to the end of the fly rod or the rod tip, and it just gives another action that gets the fish going, and I get them to strike. So hey, keep that in your back pocket. I've also have used it when I fished a river over there, Possum Kingdom, West Texas area. I fished it strong, hard, and wasn't getting anything. And then later on, I was swinging flies, where you cast more of a 90-degree to the river and letting it swing down. And as it swings down and lifts up at the end of the swing, you get a strike. While I was also doing a little twitch, and that seemed to be the fish getter, at least that round. All right. Okay, at this point, I want to shift us over back to the Little Red Book of Fly Fishing, but specifically one that I did a test. This is one that I recall, what was it? What was it again? I recall in the Little Red Book of Fly Fishing, there were ways of making sure that you were, there's one thing about learning how to fly or cast a fishing fly rod. Excuse me. Excuse me. And then there's another case where it's actually a practical practice where you're out there fishing. Okay. And what I did here was I found this video, and I want to rerun it again because it's tied into this Little Red Book of Fly Fishing, and I think it's some good call-outs. I actually have two videos, one showing how I did it incorrectly, but I still think it's still a viable exercise or practical piece to do. And then the other is how I did it correctly. All right, and it was an eye-opener being able to cast a fly 40 feet. What was it? Cast a fly 40 feet in 4 seconds. Yeah. All right. Let me go run this for you. And this round, well, I was planning on going out and wetting a line, at least locally at one of the ponds, but I've been sidetracked, kind of home locked at this point. But did get the latest podcast of iFish News posted today. iFish News Fishing Podcast number 27, and it's the ongoing series where we're going through the Little Red Book of Fly Fishing, going through some different tips. And that said, there's one tip that yours truly kind of wants to try, and it's tip 27, I think. Well, it's the one that says 40 feet in 4 seconds, and it's basically taking 40 feet of line and being able to see if you're a practical caster, where you cast 40 feet of line to various targets on demand, or someone says, target 1 through 10, and you're supposed to try cast it toward that with your 40 feet of line, and in 4 seconds get it within, I think, 4 feet. So that kind of has my interest tweaked, and I think there may be a little open area where yours truly can give that a try. So do stay tuned. I'm going to post it here shortly. Okay, we're out here, grassy area, and we're going to try doing the Little Red Book of Fly Fishing 40 seconds in 4 seconds, or 40 feet in 4 seconds. We got some flags out there, and we're going to give it a shot. Not sure how it'll go or what the video will look like, but let's give it a shot. All right. What we did was mark off 40 feet. So it's 40 feet at the tip, not including the leader. And those are the flags. And I've tied off this so it can't get any more line. And we'll basically randomly get a number, and we'll just cast to each one of these. There's 1, 2, 3, and so forth till you get to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, let's see how it goes. Okay, we're just going to randomly pick a number, and we'll see what happens. And then we'll count to 4, of course. So, here goes. 5, 1, 1,000, 2, 2,000, 3, 3,000, okay. 4, 4,000. Oops. That was a 8. 1, 1,000, 2, 2,000, 3, 3,000, 4, 4,000. 11. Oops. 10. 1, 1,000, 2, 2,000, 3, 3,000, 4, 4,000. 6. 1, 1,000, 2, 2,000, 3, 3,000, 4, 4,000. Ah, close. 3. 1, 1,000, 2, 2,000, 3, 3,000, 4, 4,000. Missed it. Oh no, that was it. 4.
4.
1 1000, 2 2000, 3 3000, 4 4000. 9. 1 1000, 2 2000, 3 3000, 4 4000. 1. 1 1000, 2 2000, 3 3000, 4
Messed that one
4000.
up. Wasn't ready.
Let's try 8. 1 1000, 2 2000, 3 3000, 4 4000.
Ah,
How about 2? 1 1000, 2 2000, 3 3000, 4 4000. Let's go to, let's try 7. 1 1000, 2 2000, 3 3000, 4 4000.
Wind got it.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Okay, let's try this again. 2. 1 1000, 2 2000, 3 3000, 4
Got
4000.
it.
Let's try 10. 1 1000, 2 2000, 3 3000, 4 4000. Next up, let's see, what's 1? 6. 1 1000, 2 2000, 3 3000, 4 4000. Okay, that was number 6. How about back to 3? 1 1000, 2 2000, 3 3000, 4
I got
4000.
4.
All right, I think that's enough to do a demo here. So let's see how this goes. See if yours truly can get 40 feet in 4 seconds.
All right, let's try this on our own without the backup call. We're just going to call it. All right, let's go with 5. Oh, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 4. There's 1. Shift over. Get it over that way. Oh, lost our fly. All right, that'll work. All right, let's go. Oh, that wasn't good. There we go. And then back here. All right. All right, well, that was pretty fun, knowing that 40 feet in 4 seconds. It's a good exercise. Wind kind of threw me a little bit where I was aiming at one, it actually went to the other. And then also, I don't have the numbers. Maybe I need to have bigger numbers because yours truly's eyes aren't the greatest. But overall, I'm liking this one. All right.
Okay, so like I was saying, this is a good practical practice for fly fishing and casting your fly accurately. So 40 feet, 4 seconds. There's actually one other piece to it, 4 feet. Or was it 2 feet? Anyhow, keep that in your back pocket. You got to be able to cast accurately. And like I was saying, there is the case where once you've had a bad cast, trying to recover from it versus just do it completely over, do make sure that it's much harder to recover from a bad cast on the fly like that. Okay, the next one was another one I want to show on the same subject, and what it is it's specifically doing this over. And what happened was I made the mistake of I did it wrong. You're actually supposed to be holding the fly in your hand. Okay, so this is my do-over in this case. Let me go ahead and start it. Oh wait, no, that's not it. My bad. Okay. Yeah, this one. Okay.
Hi, I'm Glenn, City Valley Fishing Field Team, COAF Field Team on YouTube. And this round we're doing a kind of a do-over. Well, an oops. A correction. Well, I've been reading up on that little red book of fly fishing and picked up on that 40 feet in 4 seconds challenge where you got to get your fly line or your fly within 2 feet of a given target that someone calls out. And I did that the other day, kind of on the fly, and did the oops where didn't read further enough. And luckily someone reminded us that you need to have the fly in your hand. And practically, I don't normally have a fly in my hand. Normally I'll have either the fly already in the river, the water, the lake, or behind me maybe, kind of do like a water anchor to help me recast to stay on target quickly to another passing fish, let's say. But it's good practice anyways, especially if you're in a boat and you're trying to maybe cast to some passing fish. So this round, did a quick do-over, put a couple of cameras out there and tried doing it where I've tried to get 40 feet in 4 seconds using it's a little 8-foot Redington fly rod with a 4-weight fly line, and I'm holding the fly in my hand, trying to get it to the target. So let's see how I did. Oh, by the way, it's still challenging.
All right. I've got 40 feet out. There's a camera over here about 40 feet, and then I'm just going to stand over here, and I'm going to bring the fly into my hand, and we'll see. Yours truly can get it. So let's get the fly in the hand. Tell me, go ahead and give me a count. Ready? Just tell me 1, 2, 3, go.
1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, let's try it again. Kind of missed that one. Okay, tell me when to go.
1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3.
Messed that one up. Do that one over.
1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3.
All right, that was there. Okay, let's do another one. All right, so I was able to get that one. Let's try again. Put the fly in my hand. Okay, and we're using an 8-foot Redington Pursuit with a 4-weight line on a 4-weight rod. All right, I'm ready.
1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right. Excellent. All right, let's try one more. Okay, let's get the fly in my hand. Okay.
1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right there. All right. Excellent. All right, so here it is. That's well within the 2 feet that we were looking for. So good, cool beans.
Okay, so I think that gave you the idea of what it meant was to cast 40 feet, 4 seconds, and within 2 foot of the target that's been called out, and that is practical casting. So you're kind of ready to go, I would say, fly fishing and being able to cast at the, let's say, fish activity that's moving about and whatnot. All right, okay, so at this point, if I don't have any Q&A questions and all that, I opened up to the floor. But while we're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and post a previous video to maybe get folks to maybe if you see something little red book of fly fishing related, or even just fly fishing in general, definitely call it out. And
Hi, I'm Glenn.
I do want to stay engaged with you. So let me run the video, and I will be standing by on the chat for any Q&A questions.
Field team, COAF field team, and this round we're just doing a recap. Well, it's a longer than normal video of yesterday's trip to Denison Dam, tail race to Texoma on the Red River. And in this case, yours truly had a great time catching a few fish, some striped bass as well as some white bass before they started generating. And then as well as getting some lessons learned after they started generating. Specifically what we're saying is we fished previously during the generation schedule or when they're generating power and whatnot, but we normally been using our surf casting rods. This time we had our switch rod and was able to get a white bass. But we did learn by watching others on how to fish, be it during the generation schedule, where you stand more often at an angle and you fish downstream and hit those stripers in the hole. So got some really good observation there with one individual that we met who actually has been watching our videos. So good to see some folks out there out in the field and whatnot. So it was awesome seeing that and learning a few things there. Additionally, do check out, it's a longer than normal video, so we're warning you that you may get bored with someone catching fish and whatnot. But the main thing you want to take away from this, and if you skip around, is watch how I either change the pattern, be it the fish and fly or the pattern of the retrieve, as well as just adjusting based on where or what the fish are doing. So maybe some lessons learned when you see this one. You'll see a lot of yours truly kind of switching up, where either doing no count retrieve, a 10 count, a 5 count, a fast retrieve, the sweeping motion that we do with the TLR switch rod. And oh, by the way, I had a good time out there. So appreciate y'all checking out our video. And if you have any comments, questions, do leave something in the comment section. Hopefully yours truly can get you an answer, or maybe find some other folks online who may have some answers for you. That said, Denison Dam, striper fishing, having a good time before generation and after generation. All right, check out the video.
It's Saturday, September 26th, and we're not at the Buc-ee's. We're at a 7-Eleven with some donut sticks, and then a little coffee. All right, and guess what? We're going to Denison. We're gonna go try Denison Dam. Got the switch rod with us, 6-weight Cabela's TLR with the, oh, I forget which fly reel now, but it's got one of those gadget heads on there. And then as a backup, we got some bait also, so let's see how it goes.
We're here. Cool stuff. Let's go check it out. Okay, so they're not supposed to start generating till about 2 p.m. There's the wall where some folks were catching them the other day on the Oklahoma side. Over here, we got a bunch of pools and stuff that we could probably try working, and hopefully catch a few, and maybe might see some movement over there, some surface activity. So it looks like we got potential for some fish over here, and of course we definitely see some stuff over here. So a little chilly, it's in the 60s. Got our little waders with us, so may have to take a look at it. And guess what, we have both our Texas and Oklahoma license, so we should be good to go wherever we step to go fishing. Looks like one guy's in a good spot where they like to congregate, where we see him hitting. Took a kayak from the Oklahoma side, so we're going to work it from the Texas side over here by these rocks and just kind of work our way over. Maybe go get one. Let's see what we can do. See if we can get to the rock that we like. You can see where the water was from when they quit generating. So we'll just have to work our way across. See if we can get them here. We're using a Denison Dam Daba. And where we'd like to be is over there, but I can't remember if we can get there or not, so play it by ear. All right, we're just gonna work our way up and around and get to our money zone spot. Just gotta walk very carefully. Yep, we remembered it. There's this nice shallow area that you can follow through the rocks and get us back to where we like, the money zone. Look at that, some kind of circle thing. All right, let's work these pools and see what happens. See if we can get something. Get to the money zone spot here. The Rock. I think it was formerly known as Chuck's Rock. So let's see if we can get there. There's a hit. Oh yeah. All right, this is on the Denison Dam Daba. First fish of the day. Little striped bass. Denison Dam Dauber. All right, cool beans. All right, let's see if we can do it again. 10. And just do a steady pull. Maybe a little twitchy twitch. Oh, he chased it. Saw that one chase it. Let's try a fast pull. There's a hit. Oh. It looks like they want it fast. Oh yeah. Well, I got caught up trying to catch some of those big gar over there with some shad, and yeah, there's some big ones, and I lost them. I only got like the little 2-3 footers, but yeah, there's a couple that broke me off on 50-pound test. But yeah, I've been waiting for where they quit generating and work these pools like this. So it works out nice. All right, second one. Yeah, I thought about bringing the kayak, but I'll bring this bigger rod here, this switch rod, and just work the rocks. And I'm still able to get at least enough distance. So they're little ones today, but hey, a lot better than catching nothing. You know, this is a little guy. All right, this is the Denison Dam Dauber, okay? But we're gonna switch it out with a Bennett's Lunch because that one kind of rides higher. It's a little bit fatter looking, and well, we bought it from back in Green, so hey, we want to use it. This is the Bennett's Lunch, all right? I've used it here before in a different color pattern. We're gonna try this bluish, whitish thing. See what happens. All right, we're on the rock. Let it sink a little, and then a fast retrieve. Get them to hit. There's one chasing it. Looked at it. You can see the V-wake behind it. Can feel him tapping it. Tapped it again. Ah, missed them. Gotcha. All right, that one hit. This one's on the Bennett Lunch. The Bennett Lunch. All right, little guy. All right, so we'll cast and we'll let it sink a little. Let it sink. And then we'll do these fast short pulls. And then we'll see a V-wake come behind it when they want it. And hopefully we'll get one on there to take. Nope, not that time. All right, got him. Hit it right at the tail end. This one might be a keeper. No, he's not as it's bigger than the other ones, but we're gonna hold off on keeping this guy. All right. All right, we're using this Cabela's TLR switch rod, 6-weight. Got an OPST Skagit head along with a max catch running line or level line instead of the laser line that we were using previously, because this is a little bit more like a fly line, so it's easier to handle. And it's a 11-foot rod, and it doesn't take much to get where we need to cast, so we don't have to do as much false casting to get it where we need to. So we'll kind of do like a little modified version of our way of catching this thing or casting thing with one-handed, but you can use it two-handed as well. There's a hit. All right. That one took it. What we're noticing, just to get the Bennett a little bit lower than normal in the water column, because we're casting it, or we're retrieving pretty fast, is we're putting the rod tip underwater. And that's helping it stay just under the surface and getting these guys on basically pretty close to the upper part of the water column. Here, righty. Howdy, Mr. Striped Bass. All right, so Bennett's Lunch is working really good right now. There's the hit, right at the tail end. Nice. All right. Striped bass. There's the hit. Right. Fun stuff on a 6-weight switch rod. All right. All right, let's do it again. Oh, he hit it. Got him. All right, the tail end of the retrieve, we're kind of shaking the rod tip and making it kind of pulsate, and it looks like we got this guy to take. Okay, so we're here on the, came in on the Texas side and came down the bank here, and we walked through these rocks and got our hip waders. Didn't bring our chest waders nor our pince waders, but we're able to get here without getting wet, and it's not bad. Current's nice, and oh, by the way, you got to have your Oklahoma license. You're going to be part of the river or fishing in the river, so wading in the river. So we do have that, and if we need to, we could go across to the other side if we want to, but we're not. We're good right now. Let's see if there's something over here hiding. See some movement. There's the hit. Oh, took it. Had it, and he missed the strike. Missed the hook set. There it is. There it is that time. Came back. Or maybe it was his buddy. All right, there's the Denison Dam Dauber in the water. Or correction, the Bennett's Lunch, and you can see it pulsate really nicely. Looks like a fish moving in the water. There was a hit. There's a hit. It's like they're tapping at it. There's the hit. There he goes. There he goes. All right. He's fighting good. Let's bring this baby in. He's fighting good. This one may be a keeper. No, he's still small. Just feels big on this baby. Right, there he is. About maybe 12 inches, 13. I got him. Fast retrieve. All right, let's do this again. May try a bigger fly here in a moment, just because maybe they want a bigger offering. So try it here in a moment. There's the hit. All right, this one's got a little markings on them. We're gonna try a Clouser minnow in a blue and white pattern right there. Let's see how this goes. There's the hit. He took it quick. All right, Clousers are working. All right, little guy. We'll let it sink. And we'll do a quick pulls. See if we can get one to hit. Yeah, he chased it. He chased it. There's a little guy chasing it, coming in on us. Oh yeah, little guy. All right. Gotcha. That one hit close, right by that little ledge or rock that you just can't see, but with the polarized glasses you can. Okay, here's the Denison Dam Dauber, a little bit thicker head, so maybe it'll sink quicker. See if we can get something with that. And this is one that's pink. There's a hit. Okay, they're hitting the pink Denison Dam Dauber. It's pretty much hitting everything today, but they're all small. Still fun. All right, cool beans. Okay, so Denison Dam Dauber worked, Clouser Minnow, the Bennett's Lunch, as well as a other Denison Dam Dauber in white. Now we're going to try a craft fur Clouser. It's got craft fur, chartreuse in white with little pink head, red double eyes. There's a hit. Little guy again. All right, well, they're hitting it. This one's a little one. Look at this guy. Just a little bit bigger than my hand. There's the hit. Little guy again. Little guy. El Ponchatito. There's a hit. All right, let's see what this guy is. A little bit bigger. There it is. There's a hit. There's the hit. All right. I don't think a longer count is making a difference. We're still getting these little guys. Well, let's try a bigger fly. All right, so when we started this foray out into the Red River, Denison Dam, this was all organized. So now it's unorganized. We're gonna go back to a Clouser Minnow and see what happens. Okay, let's try this Clouser. Let's let it sink a little. There he goes. Took it on the drop. Took it on the drop. He's a little bit footballish shape. Not as big as some of the other ones, but bigger than what we've been catching. All right. Tapped it. Missed him. Got him. Oh, there we go. That one's a nice one. He's fighting. Let's put him on the reel. Don't know what he is, but he jumped. It looks like a striped bass. Keeper size. I think we'll keep this one. Just gotta make sure we got him on the line. All right, we'll keep this one. A little bit bigger than the other ones that were out there, so let's get him on the stringer. Make sure we don't lose them. All right, we got one keeper. Well, one that we'll keep. The other ones we could have kept, but they're way too small. Limit of 5 here, so let's see if we can get some more. All right, and that one was on the Clouser Minnow. And we'll go on the infamous Charles or Chuck's Rock. This may be it, or maybe that's the rock. I don't know. But we're gonna try catching some more. Got him. Felt the delay on that one. All right. See what he is. Little guy again. El Ponchatito. All right. Let's let this guy get bigger.
Okay, let's go put another Denison Dam dauber. This one's kind of beat up from other forays, but let's see what happens. All right, that one took finally after a little hiatus in the bite. Let's see what this guy is. Looks like a striped bass, maybe. Yeah. All right, let's go bring him in. All right, let's go put this guy on the stringer. I think we'll keep this one. He's not big, but we'll add him to the stringer to make it worth our while. This may be a white bass. All right, let's see what he is. Yeah, all right, cool. Of course, you can never have too many stringers, you know, because yours truly tends to forget them. So he just leaves a couple, maybe one or two in the fly jacket. And so we just kind of rigged it on a rock to go here, and then we can just hopefully put more fish on the line here. All right, cool beans. All right, we're gonna go switch out things and add a little more line on our leader. We kind of wore out the leader some, so let's go take care of that and while the bite slowed down. All right, much better with the extra leader line now. Kind of got it really short on that 12-pound section, so just kind of throwing our mojo off. But let's see if we can get it out here and catch some more of these guys, maybe. Bite kind of slowed down, so we may be out of luck, but let's keep trying. There's a hit. Oh. Had it on briefly and then he stopped again. Something's chasing it though. All right, do over. There we go. That's a hit. This might be a keeper. Cheaper to keeper maybe. All right, let's let this guy go. All right, little guy. Got him. That one took nicely. And he's running. He's pulling nice. Let's see what this guy could be. Oh, not as big as we thought. Sheet. It's kind of thin. There's a swipe. There's another swipe. They're little. These are little guys. Okay. Let's go play with some little guys. Got him. All right, that one hit on top. All right, cheaper to keeper. Top water. All right, Bennett's lunch. Went for a Bennett's lunch. Olive and white. After a slow take, finally got one. All right, let's go bring him over.
Bennett's lunch. Does it again. Let's go add them to the stringer. All right. After a long awaited strike, we finally got one. And it went very far, and we're noticing they're hitting this little Bennett's lunch in an olive and white, and basically fast retrieve, pretty much on the surface basically. And what I saw was a bunch of these little guys chasing it, and then finally one of the bigger ones took. So let's see if we can do that again. That was a big one. There's a hit. All right. All right, let's see what this guy is. Not as big as the other ones, but they're there. Just more on the top water bite now, or just slightly on the or just slightly under the surface. So here we go. Let's try it again. Okay. So all we're doing is kind of keeping our rod tip high, getting the hit. They're hitting pretty much close to the surface, like that one right there. So let's see what this guy is. And it's right in that current. That one came off, so let's do it again. Okay, so high stick the rod, and they're coming up to hit it. So we'll just see if we can do it again. Got him. Ran with it. No, they want it kind of a steady retrieve, not any short pulls. So let's try that again. There's the hit. He swiped it. He shortened the line. We don't need that much. Not very far at all. We can see the fly just under the surface as we bring it in. I just chased it. There we go. He swiped it. All right, this one took. Again on the high stick. He might be a keeper. Add to the other 3 that we have. Let's see. I think we'll let this guy go. He's kind of oblong. All right, and there it is, the Bennett's lunch. All right, see if we can get some more. Okay, got one finally after a long break. Went to the craft fur clouser minnow, and it looks like a little tyke. I've been seeing these guys kind of chasing our fly. That's kind of what made us decide to start fishing more on top with a faster retrieve. You can see them flash. There's the hit. All right. Maybe we'll get some more bigger ones. This is on that Bennett's lunch, olive and white. All right, we're casting a little bit further, and we're using a fast retrieve again, like we did earlier. And we're getting some little guys, as well as some bigger guys. There's the hit. And he didn't come in all the way. Bummer. There's a hit. There we go. That one hit. Not as big as the other ones. A little bit bigger though than what we have been catching, but we're gonna continue to see if we can get some bigger ones here. The guy swiping it. Wow, 2 swipes. Still missed them. Let's try this again. There we go. That's better. He feels better. This might be a keeper. Well, we said that earlier, but we'll see. He's fighting nicely. All right. I think this is another one of those white bass. Interesting. All right, well, let's get this back out there. Just get the line cleared. There we go. Line is cleared. Let's go catch another one. There's the hit. Oh, missed them. Another one chase it. Another one. You could see him. Oh, that was a nice one. That was a nice boil. Let's see if we can get him to swipe on a fast retrieve. Nope. All right. Well, fast. They want it fast today. So let's give them fast. There's the hit. Oh. Had it. There's another one. Wow. It's 3 misses. There's another one. There's the hit. There's the hit. All right. Small guy. Small guy. All right, finally got one to hit. It's a little bit further out there, but maybe we might be able to keep him. Yeah, he might be a keeper. Yeah, let's go add it to our stringer. You'll make pretty good fish steaks. All right, well, I think we were supposed to start generating about 1 or 2. Well, it's 11:30, so a little bit early, but we got a good round of fishing in, and well, I think we got 1 white bass and 4 or 3 stripers. And if we can get 1 more, we may call it quits, or well, we may call it quits regardless. Just kind of see what the bite is like after they start generating. So we're just going to give it a few before we call it quits. Okay, so water's up. We can see them actually hitting on the surface fairly close to the shore. We're trying to blue and white clouser minnow. Let's see if that gets us anything. All right, we're going to go put the Bennett's Lunch back on because we see them. They're really close. You don't have to cast very far. And they're just kind of running by, chasing bait that's going by. So let's actually, you can see them hitting right there on top. So let's just kind of help them out. All right, I got one. All right. Yeah, they're not very far. Looks like a white bass. All right, white bass. All right, well, that one hit. It's pretty close to shore, about maybe less than 10 yards, and all we're doing is casting it out here upstream and then letting it out and then just kind of letting it drift. And we're using that Bennett's Lunch that was working earlier on these guys, so guess we'll keep using it. There's one chasing it. All right, so you fish it at an angle right into the hole and then you get them to hit. Good stuff. All right, got a nice one over here. It's the current. Current's pulling it really good. All right. Oh yeah.
Okay, so that was it. I was able to do a lot of fishing and whatnot at the Denison Dam. It was certainly fun, and well, we'll be be closing this round of the Little Red Book of Fly Fishing Tips. This is episode 30. Next time we'll go through the next set, and we'll just keep going till we get through whatever tips we're doing, and we'll go into Q&A and open up to well, whatever you guys want to talk about. And I'll throw up a video. That way you guys aren't just listening to a talking head. And hopefully we get some good engagement. All right. Till next time, catch y'all later and good luck.